Sunday school is a place for fools. It's hot in hell, but the devil's cool. Don't keep Satan waiting. Don't keep Satan waiting. So don't just sit there, join the club. Sell your soul to Beelzebub.
Hey everybody, it's I, your favorite satanic streamer, Count Jackula, saying hi to all you out there in the great wide world. The world ruled by our Lord and Master Satan. Hello, Baron. Hello, Brian. Hello, Blonde Artist. Hello, Jeremy Rios. And hello, Johnny. How are y'all doing? I hope everyone's having a good time, having a good day. It is definitely been a while since I have been online. Hey, Thorgrim, how you doing? Thorgrim, longtime supporter of the stream. Good to see ya. Yeah, I have been gone for a little while because, like, I kind of needed to get myself back together. So, I'm back today. I'm back. Hopefully, we'll get that, we're going to get back on schedule, see how everything is. And I hope that I will see you all a bit more frequently in the future. How am I doing? Well, that's really, really the thing. Been having myself an existential time. As you know, I'm a man who I suffer from, major depressive disorder. I.e. clinical depression. And so sometimes I'm just not able to really come up here and be a good host. And when that happens, I tend to back off. It has been kind of a weird time, though. A lot of worry. Hey, Joseph Hall. Yeah, such a future events such as these will happen again in the future. Finally recovered from the thing on your right eye. Glad I'm doing better. Yeah, I am. But let's talk a little bit about things that kind of get us down. Like, hopefully we can clear the air and maybe come to, some sort of uplifting bullshit. Like, one of the things that was getting me down was just feeling like, man, white dudes. Now, obviously, no one who's at this stream, but when I say that, y'all know what I'm talking about. As a not white person, I live in a world that kind of hems me in that way. So I get really, 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 really irritated when I hear a lot of white dudes bitching about how hard it is to be a white dude. Because it's like, do you want to trade places? Yeah, you want to do that Eddie Murphy movie? You want to do that? Like, I'm Eddie Murphy, you're Dan Aykroyd. Do you want to do that? Of course, nobody does. Like, even if they could, they wouldn't. Because they know. They know how other white people look at me. They know what that means. They know what the stereotypes are. They don't want to walk around and have the stereotype be, I'm good at math and have a small dick. I can't drive, but boy, am I a diligent worker. We don't, no one wants to walk around with that hanging over their head. They really don't, because that shit hurts. That shit hurts a lot. So it always freaks me out when, people, kill others in the name of white grievance, because I'm like, look, I mean, if I know what it really is, things aren't going well, you hate yourself, and so you just need someone to blame. But as part of the people who gets the blame thrown on them, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't know. I don't need that. That's some horse shit. Yeah, talking about white guys being pussies, kind of. I hate to be, and I hate to be old. I hate to be old, and I hate to sound old. But this white boy shit, I'll tell you this, I never had to worry about it. All the pressure's on me. Like, I had some of that male shit. I had some of that. Definitely. But, this whole, entitlement to power and status, I never really had that. Not really. Sometimes I would fake it. Sometimes I would fake it because you'd be amazed at how far faking it'll get you. But I never felt really entitled to it. To me, it was a trick that either worked or it didn't. So when I feel like, when people feel like part of their birthright's been taken, it's like, you really feel like this is a birthright? Really? Nah, that's not true. And I just kind of come to but being on TikTok has kind of made me go, no, it's true. It's true. They really feel it. And I'm just sort of like, why do you care? We didn't care. When I was your age, nobody gave a shit about this. Nobody cared. And we were just as fucking prejudiced and racist as anybody, but we didn't hold on to it tightly. It was you either, someone called you on it, you either got mad or you accepted it. Hey, Epiphany's Realm. Yeah. They're not cool with the loosening of the grip. Hey, John, do you want to come on? I haven't talked to you in a while because we missed you this week, by the way. Oh my God, I saw the Burning Man stuff. That goes right into it. I'm sitting there going, I remember when Burning Man took environmentalism extremely seriously. It was very serious. They took it very, very seriously. So to see people going to Burning Man and essentially beating up climate activists, I'm like, what? Kind of restless? Awesome. I couldn't believe it. Okay, so get this, Baron. So first, on the first day, the road in blocked by climate activists. Now, here's the thing. That kind of stuff, somewhat par for the course. Like, it wouldn't happen every year, but something like that would happen. You know, someone had a protest, they wanted a lot of attention, so they'd block the road, you know, and it's like, all right, yeah, you know, but I mean, things would eventually get going. You know, so this year it was climate activists, and they were talking about environmental, talking about environmental change, and they were kind of like, it wasn't the best protest, but like, whatever. You know, it was a protest. It was about the environment. It's not like that's not important. So they did that, and they ended up getting into a fight with people coming in. And then dudes called the Rangers, and the Rangers like rammed through the fucking protesters' barricade, and then just started cracking heads and arresting people because someone had told them that they were armed. And I'm like, really? Apparently someone had told them that they were. I don't know who's telling the fucking truth. Who the fuck knows? All I know is when you look at the video of the incident, the people getting beat up, everybody. Male, female, trans, black, dark-skinned, light-skinned. All the people happy about those people getting beat up, all white. And I was like, yeah, that's pissing me off. Like, I'm not going to say Burning Man didn't have, Burning Man has always been kind of majority white. Like, let's no getting around that. But that kind of thing was kind of unthinkable before. And then, like, second day in, the whole area got flooded. And I mean flooded. That place was soaked. And I'm like, well, I think the climate fucking activists have just kind of proved, nature just kind of proved their goddamn point. Because normally what happens out in that desert when it rains, when it's like a flash flood, is it dries up by morning. It's really cold in the evening, but by morning everything is just dry again. Because it's fucking desert. But now the climate is shifting. So it's staying around longer. And there's nowhere for the water to drain. Why? It's a lake bed. It's a prehistoric lake bed. Where's the water going to go? It either dries up in the heat or it stays there. Yeah, it was disrupted and made headlines. Successful protest. Yeah, exactly. The thing I thought was so fucking funny was the... So you got all these vehicles, right? I'm like, well, drive around. It's all flat desert. Are you bringing in cars that can't traverse flat desert? Because you shouldn't be doing that. And like some of this is like people with like fucking SUVs and shit. And I'm like, don't you buy that so that you can like, go mudding and shit? Just fucking drive around. You're faster than they are. No need to like fucking have this confrontation. You could just not care. But no, had to go that extra step. Had to get hostile. And I'm just realizing, I think IQs have fucking dropped. So what's a fucking $1 million RV? You're parking it in the middle of the desert anyway. Like, it's not going to fucking happen. There's no pavement out there. You know, and there were people, like, getting in front of the cars, but I'm like, well, that's when the guy behind is like, aha, you drive around that dude. You know, they can't catch all of you. Dukes of Hazzard jump it. Well, maybe not. But, you know, like, there are ways around this. Yeah, rich people are stupid. Rich people are stupid. And I'm seeing photos of, like, people, like, that shit flooded, and it stayed flooded. And I'm like, bitch, the desert has spoken. Mother Nature has spoken. We're done. Burning Man is done. Yeah, none of them could leave because of how fucking muddy it got. You know? And that motherfucker's still, I'm pretty sure that shit's still going on. Like, they're still all out there. The burn, I don't think, happens until Thursday. You know, the official burning of the man doesn't happen until Thursday, I don't think. I mean, that's the way it was when I went, so... Well, the thing was, it was a good location until it got so big it actually started causing problems. Then now you got all these tech bros who go on these fucking ayahuasca trips, and I'm just sort of like, how do you fucking do this many drugs and have no... The sun didn't talk to you. The aliens didn't come down from fucking space. Angels didn't pick you up by your feet. God, who are these people? Who the fuck are these people? Maybe I'm expecting too much, man. I think I'm expecting too much. Like, I was always, like, Burning Man looked like it was going downhill, but I was always kind of like hoping I was wrong. Like, I was just being grumpy and old and bitter and all the things I know I actually am, but I thought that was all it was. Damn, bro. Like, I knew something was wrong the minute they got rid of the sacred whores. That was the first sign of fucking trouble when they got rid of the sacred whores. I showed up. Yeah. Well, the rich guys rather than the artists and the scum, the artists and the lowlives, you know. I was like, this is like a fucking hippie thing, man. Like, yeah. They become yuppies, then they spawned fucking hipsters, and then the hipsters became middle-aged bros. I can't believe it. Like, I knew hipster was bad. I knew it was bad from the get-go. But I hadn't realized it was going to bring back white supremacy and this horse shit. There we go.
Anyways, let's not like ignore the fact that Gen X fell fucking ass backwards into a lot of IT jobs, and then they were the ones that made this tech bro culture. Like, I'll take my lumps for millennials, but like, let's be real here. Gen X is just as fucking bad. And
Yeah. But I was like, but the thing that is like fucking freaking me out is it just seemed to happen.
Well, yeah,
because, you know, it's one of those, like, some people there were warning signs, but other times it was just like, nope, they're just fucking conservative assholes now. And it's like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, but Jack, we had warning signs. I had a fucking revelation the other day.
Oh, okay.
That
Yogi's in the chat.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Yogi.
Anyways. Hey, Yogi. If you want to get in, just say so.
I had a revelation the other day. And this one is probably going to piss off some people here, but I don't give a fuck. Maybe the people behind Gamergate had a fucking point.
Oh yeah, there was a point. It was a fucked up point, but it existed.
It was the truth. But it was the truth. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, well, I will say this. There was truth behind it.
Yes.
It very quickly spun in a completely different fucking direction.
Like all terrible fucking messages do.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, I kind of understood a bunch of nerds having a grievance that a bunch of...
What was their grievance? What was their actual grievance? Not the bullshit that came up with games journalism and integrity, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. None of that shit. Well, what I saw as the real grievance was, hey, man, like, we built this space. Stop treating us like shit.
Okay. So you built this space. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I don't actually think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what I saw as the actual genuine grievance.
So you built this space. Cool. But guess what? You didn't just build this by yourself. There have been queer people, there have been women, there have been there have been trans individuals. If you think that technology exists without trans people, man, no,
you were so wrong. So fucking wrong. I've been hanging out here near Silicon Valley for fucking 20 years. I gotta tell you, trans people have been building this thing forever. They've always been here.
Yeah, who does the best coding? Anyways, stop acting like y'all fucking made this space. You didn't. Because you never make these spaces. You overtake them. Every fucking time. And then you bitch and whine when your specific demographic isn't coddled to. And you want to know what caused this fucking revelation? People bitching about Starfield and having fucking pronouns.
Oh my god, I know. I was like...
I literally was like, oh, no. I was literally
like I was sitting there and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. For me,
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because it's like, oh, well, if we're moving into a world, particularly like as in the real world, where one's biological gender doesn't determine what you want to be called or even necessarily what you sound like, that makes sense. So I'm pretty sure they did that. They did that from the beginning. They had that in mind from the beginning. Right. Because of all the recording that they have to do in order to make it all work, because it's a completely voice acted game.
Right. And these people did the same shit with fucking Cyberpunk. They did the same shit with fucking Baldur's Gate 3, which is one of the best games you can play this fucking year. And now
I'm going to be getting it pretty soon.
Prepare for your life to kind of just get sucked away. You'll be going to your wife talking about your relationships in a video game.
My tiefling girlfriend broke up with me.
No, mine was my bookworm wizard boyfriend.
Oh, Oh, no, yeah.
But anyways, like I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck what guy being Dr. Disrespect really fucking thinks.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that guy. That guy's an ass.
I don't give a fuck what that stupid garbage human being thinks anymore. I don't give a shit what any of these fucking gamer bros that sit on their fucking ass and play Call of Duty all fucking day think about the gaming industry. Because at the end of the fucking day, you assholes play 2 fucking games. You don't get to fucking walk into spaces that we created outside of your fucking bro area. You can populate the shit out of that, and by all fucking means, I think it's the gayest shit I've ever seen, but that's beside the point. This is our area. RPGs have always been where the weirdos go. Leave us the fuck alone. You go play your stupid boy games.
Yeah. No, I'll hear on that, because because I'm like, dude, the role-playing game is, look, to me, the RPG is sacred.
Yes.
You know, it's a sacrament. It's a sermon. It's a mass. It's a ritual. It's a ritual of the imagination. And if you're gonna try to fucking dictate what should be in that imagination, you kiss my ass. We're now fighting. We're now in a fight.
It's Baldur's Gate 3 takes place in fucking D&D, where they have magical wizards that fucking change their appearance on a whim.
Yeah, on a dime.
Like, no, sorry, you don't get to say like, this is unreal. Fuck off.
No, of course not. It's exactly. It's like, well, according to my huge book of bullshit, you are
full of shit.
You're full of shit. You know, I got nothing on that. Yo, you jackasses.
And then so they started that shit with BG3, but like nobody wanted to fucking listen to them because fuck it, we're having fun with our poly relationships. You can kiss our fucking ass. And then they tried the same shit with Starfield, and I'm just like, I'm looking back and I'm seeing it every fucking time. Anytime there's any queer representation, anytime there's not just white het cis male representation, they cannot fucking handle it. And you know what? Lindsay Ellis may be a bitch, but she had a fucking point. You fuckers have been coddled too fucking long.
Hey, John. Hey, John.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Hey, John.
Yeah, what's up?
I think you might be angry.
It's not angry. It's not angry. It's literally just like I'm
Isn't it though?
Well, it's a little bit angry, but it's more fucking.
It's just no. Don't get me wrong. It's justified. Nothing you've said is incorrect.
It's just exhaustion. Like, I'm so tired of having to give a fuck what these assholes fucking think. The quartering does not push my purchasing fucking dollar. And let's be real here, not many people know who the fuck that fat chud is.
Yeah, wasn't it amazing? Wasn't it amazing how like he got like how much of a flash pan he was? Like he got really popular and then he just blew away.
Well, that's the thing. You can't be a hateful bastard for forever. People get tired of that shit.
Oh no, you can be a hateful bastard for forever. It's not gonna do nothing for you for too long.
People get tired of fucking being yelled at.
This is very true.
Yeah.
But by the way, how's my lighting? Am I coming in okay?
Very bisexual.
You're coming in okay. Yeah. You got the bisexual lighting.
Well,
you're doing good. You're doing good.
Well, how to put it? I'm broadcasting from the workroom because I've just been doing rituals and shit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit in my chair. I'm not gonna go.
What do you think about Dr. Disrespect, Yogi?
I'm sorry. Who? I only pay attention to people that matter.
Fuck that guy. I can't. Him and fucking what was the other guy? Was it Matt Pat or whoever the fuck?
I mean, there's Matt Pep. There's a lot of like, oh hey, that's a big fucking me there.
Yeah. Having some trouble trying to organize ye old everything.
I'm Count Jackula now. Oh fuck.
I am everything.
I'm back.
Okay.
I found Return of the Living Dead to be trite. Oh shit! Now Yogi's here.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna.
You know what I like?
Man.
Jennifer's body.
We're gonna. Oh. Why you gotta do me like that? Why you gotta do me like that? Why would we do that?
We don't have to do.
No, we do, Yogi. We do.
No, we really don't.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Hey, Jack, what's your problem with Jennifer's body? It tried. Everyone likes the movie they want that movie to be.
Yes.
But it's not that movie, and that's what pisses me off. You know.
To be fair, all the fans of this movie agree that if she had just been allowed to make the film she wanted to make.
Exactly. Like I would have been like if it was just like oh my god, I'm so totally in love with fucking Amanda Seyfried and like fucking Megan Fox or in a lesbian teenage relationship and they just want love, you know? Isn't that what we all want? I have been super into that.
But
I'd have been like, yeah, you know, the movie I was expecting. I was kind of hoping it would be. I was hoping it would either be that or like Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things though where I acknowledge that the people that movie tends to speak to from the time that it came out in theaters were AFAB individuals in their early teens, because that's who that was made for. And you know what's funny?
AFAB?
Assigned Female at Birth.
Okay.
And here's the fun thing. I can be as non-binary and genderqueer as I fucking want. I don't know what it's like being raised as a woman. So that movie wasn't made for me.
Well, let me tell you, Yogi.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's like being raised as a woman, Yogi.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. What the hell happened? What the hell happened to everything here?
While Jack growls at
Jack growls at everything and tries to figure out what the fuck is going on. Good God, dude.
Oh.
As I was saying to John, I'm like, look, they're not picking on anyone who's actually here, but white male shit is pissing me off. White straight girl shit ain't doing much better. But holy crap.
See, this is why this is why we have to love and appreciate the white people who actually put in the time.
We're a dime a dozen.
They're far.
Oh, I wish. I fucking wish it was dime a dozen. That'd be cool.
A lot of us exist. The problem is that not enough of us have a voice. And I'm not saying it's because it's been taken away. Far from it. The problem is that there's a lot of.
Let me. Okay. I will say one thing. There is one thing. One more thing that I kind of need a lot of fucking people to do. This is white people in particular. But not exclusively. Just in particular.
What can I do to be an ally?
Okay, you don't do this.
All right, cool.
But y'all, particularly those who live in southern states, stop making excuses for Christianity.
Oh no, I'm done with that shit.
Stop it.
Yeah, you are.
All of it. Stop all of it. You know, it's gotta stop, because no matter what you think it does for your community, it is always at the expense of someone else's community.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, the only acceptable forms of Christianity in the United States, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, are the kind that involve you go see the old woman who lives at the end of the street and she puts oils on you and you go, "This is in the name of the Lord, right?" And she goes, "Sure."
One of them.
One of them. I mean, there's a Lord is involved. You know, is that good enough for you? Because if not, you know,
this was
fucking results may vary.
This was specifically to Korean Jesus.
Well, no, it's interesting because I've been doing a lot of. John knows this because I've been bothering him about it. I've been bothering him a lot about it lately. He's been a really good sport about it. I've been doing a lot of like research into like fucking like mountain witches and shit.
Okay.
Because
he's heard the call, Jack.
I've been dreaming about Appalachia recently, and I don't like it.
He's heard the call.
Well, to be fair, I live in a, okay. So Jack, you know how like there's like a plateau on either side of the mountains?
Yes.
That's like made. Yeah, there's a plateau on either side of the Appalachian Mountains that is created by the tectonic shifting that created the mountains themselves. Over on the side near Tennessee, you've got like that's called the Appalachian Plateau, and that gets divided into Cumberland and John, what the fuck is the other part of that called? The Ayaga?
Yeah, it sounds about right. I just grew up on the Cumberland Plateau, so that's about all I know.
That's very fair. But so on the other side of the mountains, there's this other thing called the Piedmont Plateau, and it goes range. And guess who lives on this plateau?
That motherfucker. That motherfucker.
You know, yeah, but yeah, but so I've been doing like a lot of like research into like granny magic and like mountain witches and shit, and I'm like, the folk magic in Appalachia is really interesting because I'm like, this is legitimately like a combination of like faith healing Christianity, but mixed in with like Pennsylvania Dutch, Scotch Irish, and Native American, specifically Cherokee and Sioux, fucking folk craft. It's very interesting.
It's like, okay, so whenever I talk about growing up Pentecostal, people always think like snake handling. And while that may exist in the Appalachian Mountains, it does not exist everywhere. But what does definitely fucking happen is faith healing. Now, there is some like biblical reference to where like, you know, they can pull the rituals out of, you know, using virgin olive oil as the anointing oil to, you know, recite the prayer and whatnot. Touching, you know, the afflicted part of the body, whatever. Even when I was a believer, I always assumed that was magic.
Yeah, because that's what
I
mean,
I mean,
some people don't want to hear that word.
Magic?
No, because magic's the devil, Jack.
Oh.
Yeah, can't have the devil. If devil's doing it, then like if we doing are we doing the Harry Potters up in here?
My opinion on what the shit? Why is it when I do that it just goes all fucking? It gets all fucky. Okay. All right. However,
OBS doesn't want secrets to be known.
I know it doesn't want the
Why don't you just flip your
the magic of the hills to be
like
what?
Your frame portrait style instead of landscape over Yogi's camera?
That's because that wasn't the problem.
Okay.
If that was the problem, that's what I would have done. No, the problem was that for some reason, as I was moving certain things around, other things would start to move that I wasn't selecting. And it was like, why are you doing that? Yeah, demons, tech demons.
Gremlins.
Yes.
Fucking gremlins.
Or it's user interface issues.
Gremlin.
No, it's gremlins, John. You shut up.
Once again, I'm locked in a room with wizards.
Yes.
Who do not understand the magical art of programming.
Look. It's John, you know how 40K works. You know how 40K works. Look.
Yes, I'm also aware of how Spider-Man works.
Wait, hold on. My point was, look, does the tech priest ritual work because of the incantations? Does it work because while the incantations are being said, there's a fucking mechanic working? Or is it both? Who's to say?
It works because the Emperor wills it to work. That's how it goes down.
Also, yes, all hail the honest Brian.
All hail the man Emperor of mankind.
Actually, here's another thing that fucking gets me about a lot of these dudes.
Okay.
They worship masculinity, right? Worship it. Can't get enough of it. And I'm just like, all right. But if it's not getting you what you want, who cares? And that's when I realize I'm talking to aliens.
Yeah.
Not aliens who will give me cosmic knowledge. Just aliens. Shitty aliens. Yeah.
That's the thing that I have my issues with. So many men make their daily decisions, and it's a very loud minority, but they are loud, so we have to listen. They make every decision based on what other men will judge them for. Like, I'm going to dress this way so men think I'm manly. I'm going to drive this type of vehicle because men think that's manly. I'm going to watch this type of fucking programming because men think that's manly. I'll only experience these many emotions because that's what men think are manly. And as a member of the Alphabet Mafia, let me just say, that's some straight up faggotry shit.
Yeah, it is. There's as an AMAB person who sucks dick.
That's some gay shit.
Yeah, no, ain't nothing gayer than a heterosexual man really trying to defend his masculinity.
Oh God, yeah.
Ain't fucking nothing gayer.
What are you painting your fingernails for? You trying to impress the ladies? Why, yes, I am.
Yes, I am. And by the way, it's working. So fuck off.
Hey,
why
are you wearing a dress? You think girls think that's hot? Girls think that is hot. Now you shut the fuck up. I gotta adjust my bra.
I paint my nails not even to impress the ladies, but it happens anyway.
Oh, my favorite one is like when people like it's specifically the southern version of it, all right, where it's like, I don't understand why I can't find anyone that wants to be around me. And it's like, oh, well, let me tell you, it's because you repulse women in every fucking way with your personality.
Yeah, everything else that's going wrong, and trust me, that's not the only thing that's going wrong, but that is the thing underneath everything else that is the pink slip moment.
Exactly.
Like, I will never fucking forget, ever. Y'all remember Chloe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chloe telling me about that one dude that she was dating who wouldn't let her come over to his place. And she couldn't figure out why. And then she finally went over there, and she was like, it was, you know, a little dank, but like not, you know, whatever.
We've
not so
downgraded
bad
from-
that it was like, oh my God. It was just like, you know, just kind of an empty, messy bachelor pad.
Right.
We downgraded from sex to a blowjob, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, but whatever. And she's like, okay, so we're going to watch a movie. And they start watching the movie. About 20 minutes in, the guy goes, I got to take a shit. And she's like, okay. Want me to pause the movie? No, you have to leave. What? Yeah, you got to go. Why? Because I gotta take a shit. And she's like, is he talking in code? Is this something I'm supposed to be hip to? Is that like, the guy's coming with the money and their dudes with guns gonna show up? You gotta get out of here.
It's one of those moments where it's like, listen, my roommate's in his room. I have to go take a shit. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah. So she's
psychopath.
like, you know, it's a Mexican's got all boots moment. She's like, now what the fuck does that mean? And it turns out it was literal. Because for him, taking a shit takes 2 hours. And she was like,
I know people like that.
what? Why is you shitting take 2 hours? And he's like, isn't that how long it takes? And she's like, no. Like, I think you need to see a doctor. Oh, I don't want to see a doctor. I think you should, because it takes you 2 hours to take a shit.
I would.
That's not normal. You know, like that's not a functioning digestive system. Like, you gotta see somebody.
No, that's you have like something wrong with your lower intestinal tract. There's something wrong there.
What are
Yeah,
you
she
eating? Just
then
blocks of
finds
government
out-
cheese? Like,
She then finds out that this is a guy who don't wipe his ass because it's gay.
I
And
don't
she's like,
okay.
that was the moment. That's what tore it. Where I was just like, I gotta get out of this relationship. This is bullshit.
Yeah, Yogi Jack. I don't know why I ever thought I was straight. Because every time I hear some shit like this, I just go like, "What do you mean it's gay to wipe your ass?
Ass.
You know what What do you mean? You don't want to have a fresh ass for your lady friends? Her head's gonna be down there for like probably 15 minutes, 5 minutes. You know, considering who we're talking to.
You
here.
got to wash your ass. Hygiene.
Would you want to eat her out? if she
Hardest
had a
thing to
dirty
do
ass?
is to look at someone you love and go, you got to wash your ass.
I should not at any point see your undergarments and out loud ponder the question, oh my God, did you hit a deer?
Look.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you want to like go down on her as well. If you don't, well, then we just had a lost cause, baby.
I don't know what goes on with some people. Like, some guys I get, like I got a chronically, clinically, morbidly, I have a morbidly heterosexual friend.
Write that down, Yogi. Write that down.
No, it's already written. Morbidly heterosexual.
Morbidly heterosexual. And a good guy, but I understand how this all happened. I get it. You know, he has a lot of undiagnosed emotional issues.
You know, because men
so
talk about their
yeah, because he has a hard time talking about his feelings. He's a straight guy, you know, all that jazz. So I'm like, when I go, if I go to his place and it's just a fucking sty, I'm like, bro, you know better. You didn't live like this when you lived with me. So what happened? You know,
terminally straight.
Terminally straight. Yeah.
That's
and, you know, then he'll tell me, and it's like, why don't you clean your fucking shit up? Because I got nowhere to sit. You've got 3 couches, and I have nowhere to sit. This is a problem.
Bitch, I know you watch Jordan Peterson. Clean your fucking room.
Yeah, no, he's not that kind of guy. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I get it. But when I hear, I gotta take a shit, you have to leave the house. That's one of those, what's gonna happen? That is so far out of left field in my experience.
Does Moloch himself climb out of your ass? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, do you make ungodly noises? Does the smoke alarm go off? Does the radon alarm go off? What's happening? Is it Chernobyl in there? Like,
can you imagine, like, your friend says, I have to take a shit, you have to leave, and you go, no, that's not happening, and they go, okay, and then they go into the bathroom, and 5 seconds later, you just hear,
I would honestly, okay, so...
Well, that's when I pull out the phone and start recording. Because that's going on social media.
I have a presence to maintain.
You know? It's like, guys, dude's taking the shit. You gotta hear this.
But I may or may not have a straight friend in my life who I share a domicile with.
Whose name is Chris?
Whose name is Chris, who won't shit in the downstairs toilet. He held a shit for a 20... Because straight people need to go to therapy to figure their shit out, Jack. That's
why. What's wrong with using the downstairs toilet? Is it like fucked up?
No, it's perfectly fine. He just
is it scary? Are there spiders in there?
Occasionally, but they're nice.
Wait. Is
it filled with black mold or?
Wait. Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Is the down, because I don't know how the upstairs downstairs of your living situation works. The downstairs bathroom, is that the one where your wife keeps any of her feminine products?
No. I mean, occasionally you see the murder scene that is, you know, femininity in the trash can.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could think of is, like, you know, if it's like in his mind that no, this is a ladies' bathroom. It's like, no, I can't unleash the smell.
Is there a bidet? If there is, that's the one I'm using exclusively.
I have a bidet in my bathroom specifically.
Yeah, me too.
It feels nice.
Me too. Fuck that. I'm tired of these goddamn hemorrhoids.
I'm tired of my butthole has never been cleaner. Anyways, no, it's nothing like there being anything in there. He doesn't shit at work, in public, or downstairs. He only shits upstairs in his room.
Wait, it's one of those things of
Was this like an American Pie situation?
Yeah, no. It is. It's one of those things of, like, I have become comfortable with this level of vulnerability in one place and one place only. I do not have the emotional fortitude to become that vulnerable in any other location.
It's a shit.
He's okay. I'll tell you one thing. He does not have a drop of Asian blood in him.
No,
this is not something that fucking happens.
No, it's like. I'm not saying this in any fucking anti-Semitic way, so don't fucking cancel me, internet. but he's got like a lot of New York Jew and like some West Virginia in his blood, basically.
What does that have to do with like only using one toilet?
A lot of guilt and a lot of shame.
About taking a shit?
To be fair, if I can, culturally speaking, and I'm serious about this, culturally speaking, if I can avoid having a shit in a toilet that's not in my house, I will, but I'm not going to press the issue. You know what I mean? It's like, if it happens, it happens. If I can avoid it, I will. But I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, like, develop a complex around it.
No, it's like, I promise you, it's just about, like, this is, like, do you want to know the real plight of the white straight man? I can really spell it out.
See, I thought I knew, but apparently I don't.
What do you think it is?
I have
just out of curiosity.
No. All right. Here's what I thought it was.
Yeah. What do you thought?
My hypothesis is that the majority have severe parental issues. Just like, right. All of us.
Yeah, you are mostly right. Like,
so what's the extra bit?
They still try to fucking impress them. They're still trying to prove themselves.
Why?
By not taking a shit in the downstairs bathroom?
It's literally like it's about being perfect. It's about doing the right fucking thing. It's about not fucking up. It's about not embarrassing yourself. Which, like, by the way, if you're so obsessed with not embarrassing yourself, the easiest way to do that is to act constantly serious.
Look. Like, no. Look, ethnic people of all varieties, we all got weird shit with fucking family dynamics and expectature. Like if you've seen The Bone Woman, you know what I'm talking about. Like, we all have weird family dynamics.
Yeah, we all got weird family issues. Yeah.
We deal with it in different ways.
Hey, Eliza, how you doing? We're talking about weird straight white boy things that we don't understand because nobody here is both of those. Yeah, nobody here is straight or white, and so no one is straight and white.
There we go.
Oh, I'm spicy. No, it's literally like just this like constant fucking need to get that approval from the parental figure that haunts them. It's not just
they got to be better. They must be better at like dangling that stick in front of the white boys because like I was like, yeah, you're not even putting that anywhere where I could reach it. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, even beyond that, just chasing that high of your parents being proud of you, which some people do, and that's perfectly fine. If you've got a great relationship with your parents, by all fucking means, enjoy that. Not everyone has that, but understand that you've got to eventually live for you and on your own principles. And if your parents aren't along for that ride, you don't have to fucking babysit and take care of them.
I only pretend at family functions so I can get that money when they die.
I got nothing. I'm like, we're either going to enjoy each other's company and take care of each other, or that's it. Like that's the deal,
Yeah, but here's the thing, Jack.
Yeah.
How close are you to like the majority of your family? Like how often do you see your family? Your blood family?
Oh, blood relations? Every few months.
Okay. How often do you see your found family?
More often than that, yeah. Significantly more often than that.
So which one's more important? The found family.
Yeah, the found family. Yeah,
because they accept you of who you are and where you are.
Right.
So people don't have that concept. Like the ones that hold on to like that shit don't have that concept. It was like, okay, so Jack, have you ever like been on Max or seen the show We're Here?
No. I mean, I've been on Max, but like I haven't seen that show.
If you should. If you need to have a good, like, empowering, like, watch of queerness, watch it. It's basically, it's Bob the Drag Queen, Shangela, and Eureka O'Hara going around America to a bunch of small towns and saying, bitch, we're putting on a drag show because queer people live here.
Right.
It's so good, we'll make you fucking cry. Or at least it made me cry.
Oh no, but, you will cry. If you don't cry while watching this.
Speaking of crying.
Oh no.
I'll handle this.
He's going deeper into the hallway.
Well, he gone. He went down that hallway. He just appeared.
He's gone. But well, god damn it! I gotta wait for him to get back now to make my point.
I know. While he's gone, something you know how like you brought up like faith healing and shit a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing. So you know how like now it's not entirely Christian. It's mainly based in like hoodoo and like granny magic and shit like that. The idea of like, oh, well, we use like certain psalms to create certain things and like it's magic. So I ran across this account because Psalm number 3 gets used for back pain and headaches a lot.
Yep.
And I ran across this account of like, oh yeah, my one grandmother, she was a granny witch, and like, you know, like she would always like pray like the 3rd Psalm, and she would rub oil on people's backs and it would cure their backache and blah blah blah. I dug a little deeper in this account and I found the oil in question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh wait, there's stuff in this oil, and I started to look at the recipe for it, and I'm like, wait a minute,
they made icy hot, didn't they?
Essentially, it was like a cayenne oil with like other things put in it, and I'm just like,
yep.
Wait a fucking minute.
Yep. Look. It's headology, okay?
No, it is. It really is. And I'm just like, I love how much people forget that like herbal medicine does actually work for a reason.
Well, all medicine is made out of some fucking components, but either herbal or fucking genetic or cells, whatever. Like,
yeah.
It's all the same fucking process.
Yeah, I think people forget that like the reason we have aspirin is because willow bark actually works.
Yeah.
And we just said, hey, we're gonna synthesize the compound that's in there.
Yeah. No, it's like we've had this conversation multiple times. We'll speed everyone else up. We've had this conversation, and it's really weird for Yogi, a man of many faith, and me, a man of no faith, to have a conversation about spirituality, because it's like, because that's the theory. I'll be sitting there and Yogi will be going on about some spiritual thing, and I'll just go like, yeah, but like, what is it really?
Guys, quit your grinning and drop your linen. I have just learned something very important.
Oh shit, what?
So, part of the reason I was out there so long is the Countess had to tell me about the plot to Meg 2. Now.
Wait, what?
Meg 2, right?
Meg 2.
Oh, the Meg 2. Okay.
The Meg 2.
I thought you said Megan 2, and I'm like, no, that's not a thing. Don't lie to me.
No, this is the Meg 2. They haven't made Megan 2 yet.
Okay.
This is the Meg 2.
Okay.
Now, There's 3 megalodons. Mm-hmm. There's shit that happens. But the most important part,
Mm-hmm.
the end of the movie has a rap song about the movie.
You know,
And I'm like,
so what you're telling me is
I'm
that
sold. Now I'm
so
sold.
what you're telling me is it's art.
Yes.
isn't it as much art as Murder Size? Because I'm forcing my friends.
Murder
to sit down and
Size is, look, that's kind of another level. Okay? Not everything can be as good as Murder Size.
That's true. Watching that trailer immediately made me go like, "Oh, someone's doing trauma shit again." Nice.
Did you watch the movie?
I'm forcing my friends to sit down and watch it tomorrow.
Ooh.
Hey, it's not personal.
It's just business.
It's,
I was really impressed because it has been a while since a movie was just like, yeah, let's just put boobs on the screen. It's like,
Artistic
boobs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they're lit. It's in focus. Can the Meg 2 rap song possibly be good as the Maniac 2 rap? See, here's the thing. I have to hear it first.
That's like
so far.
That's like comparing a child's drawing to the Mona Lisa.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the Meg 2 rap song's amazing.
So far, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
my head is like a shark's fin. Maybe it's at least that good. Maybe it's better than that. I don't know.
Man, I've been waiting for something to beat the polka rap. Nothing has.
Actually, I still think my absolute favorite rap song at the end of a movie was Waxwork 2.
Ooh, that is
Waxwork 2, back in time, no matter where you go, there you are.
It was nice that the Fat Boys got work again.
I know.
Right?
I know. He's just like, I don't know why we're doing this, but you know what? Okay. Yeah, I'm good with it.
And we all know what the greatest movie funk line is, right? Green slime.
Yeah.
I was going for more obscure. I was going to go Space is the Place.
Oh, no. Because when we talk about green slime and things like the rap after the Meg 2 or after Waxwork 2, no. That is a single song about an entire property. Space is the Place is a full sensory experience.
Yes, sir, it is.
Just gotta.
In fact, I'm of the belief that, okay, so you remember when there used to be real IMAX theaters? Not the shitty AMC half-assed ones, but like actual IMAX where that shit was a dome.
Hey, you don't talk shit about AMC. AMC is a place where magic happens, okay?
We come to this place to laugh, to cry. But y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Where you had to like go to like a museum or a planetarium for that kind of shit.
Yes.
Hold on.
In your head.
Would you believe it? When you're dead, green slime. Oh man, hold on, here's the bridge. Man has looked up to space in wonder for 6,000 years. Sometimes one thinking about what is up there. And now it's here.
Yes, we all love that movie.
Yeah, it's good movie. It's good movie. There's big rubber monsters, there's cheesy sets. You shut yourself up, watch that shit. Oh, man.
No, it's the slime monsters. That's clearly rubber. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. It's like, you know.
I'm
Now
feeling-
the thing,
I'm-
now
I'm
the thing I
feeling weird in
love.
my pants.
Now, I'm just gonna say this. There has been a remake of Green Slime, and it's called Armageddon. I'm like, except for the green slime, it's the same plot.
Okay, I'm so mad at you because that's so true, and now I can't unsee it.
I've watched a rocket engineer lose his goddamn mind watching that movie.
Look, man.
Are you trying to tell me that
White American dudes gotta save the planet from an asteroid that's gonna fucking destroy all life?
And
Wait.
do it.
Are you telling me that Armageddon was not in fact a documentary and that the events did not occur in real time?
Real time.
Oh, I can tell you for a fact it's not that way. I had those facts screamed into my face as he was like interjected in between, turn this fucking movie off, turn this fucking movie off, turn this fucking movie off.
I have a question. At what point, because I understand that it wouldn't have done anything to say it, but at what point did you turn to this gentleman and say, you know it's just a movie, right?
What the fuck was that Aerosmith song that played in Armageddon?
I don't want to miss one thing.
Yeah. And I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to live without you. See you when I close my eyes.
Cause I still miss you, baby, and I don't
want to miss a thing.
That song was everywhere for so long.
Oh God, yeah.
Now, you know, that's Don't Want to Miss a Thing by the group Aerosmith. Fun fact about Steve Tyler, he used to keep a 14-year-old girl as fucking luggage. That was great. See,
Jay Tilton knows what I'm talking about because he's like, Armageddon's no Deep Impact.
I agree. Why the fuck?
Hey, Nicole. Yeah, we're talking about Armageddon, greatest movie ever made. Hell yeah, we are. But is it as good as Deep Impact? I think not.
Why the fuck did they get oil rig guys to go dig on a fucking asteroid? And I have my fucking reason. Because the rich always send the working man to his fucking death.
Yep.
Yeah, did not all of us understand that was exactly what the symbolism of that was?
No. You know why we didn't realize that, Yogi? Because that shit was directed by Michael fucking Bayformers Bay.
Yeah. Yep.
That man got Pearl Harbor and turned that shit into a fucking Carrie Underwood music video, okay?
Oh, wait. I gotta. I don't mean to backtrack, but I gotta finish this thought, otherwise it's gonna fester in my little brain meat. And that is, so John, remember I was talking about like the fucking like real IMAX shit?
Yes.
Yeah, no. I think if I could arrange it, I would go to my local planetarium / museum that has one of those and go, hey, I want to host an event. Okay, what will be the event? Space is the place.
Space. Ooh. No one would know what to do. It'd be awesome.
Can you imagine?
Oh, man.
Space is the place, on 420 on one of those screens.
I'm just thinking about it at the Old Crest Theater and what it would have been like if the Old Crest Theater in Sacramento was still there. You play it on that one, you know, or like or if the Cornet Theater still existed.
Yeah,
you know, just fucking Sun Ra's fucking head's as big as a house. You know, like come on, man. And then funk dancers with afros in front of pyramids for an hour. You know,
awesome. What is that? what is that fucking? It's a theater in LA. I think it's basically just a big fucking circle. Fuck! They just saved it recently. I can't remember what the fuck it is.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it too.
Yeah, I think it's like CinemaScope, but I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's just.
Yeah, Dakota's like, they're the baddest oil riggers on the planet. Are you bad enough, dude, to save the president?
Steve Buscemi is the baddest oil rigger. Steve Buscemi, the lizard.
The lizard on the edge. Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to. I'd love to, restrain some people down to watch Space is the Place in IMAX theater.
Oh, dude.
Oh, before I forget,
okay. So sorry. I said bad enough dude to save the president. So I'm thinking what they need to do is they need to do a movie version of Two Rude Dudes and have Terry Crews play one of the dudes. Because he has this great line in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where a fucking pressure cooker explodes near him and he freaks out and he goes, I'm not going down from snack food. Terry dies saving the president or Terry doesn't die.
All right. I remembered this. We were talking about beforehand. We were talking about We're Here. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there watching this with my straight friend Chris, and there's like this scene. Like this whole episode's following this one woman who was a bigot, literally like kicked her daughter out of her house, and then like regretted it and has been making movements to try to like fix it, or at least like try to be a better person from it. She's going to LGBTQ plus ally member meetings. She's part of like hugs for the mom hugging thing, and she's like trying to be an ally, and her daughter can't forgive her.
At least not yet. We don't know what happened.
Yeah. So Chris pauses the show and he looks over. He goes, "Okay, I have a question." And I was like, "Oh fuck, here we go.
Here it comes."
He's like, she's doing all this stuff. She's making all these amends. She's trying to make up for like all the shit she did.
I wonder what this is about.
And
yeah.
And he's like, she's making all these amends. She's trying to like, she's trying to seek redemption. Why can't her daughter just forgive her? And I had to like, I was like, all right. Redemption is not so that you feel better. Redemption is a path that you take because you need to be better. Like, if you're going to try to make up for the fact that you're a bigot in your life, you need to keep doing that. And it's not about like getting the people you've hurt back. It's about making yourself better so you don't hurt other people.
Yeah. And you're going to take a lot of lumps doing that.
Right. And I said, and this may not make sense to you, but I need you to understand, when someone gets hurt, especially by a parental figure, when they like, especially when it's something like gender identity or sexual identity, when they get hurt, that hurt doesn't go away when you say you're sorry, especially when you take it to that level.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, being an ally isn't just so you feel better about yourself or so you can forgive yourself for past actions. You will be a fucking ally. You got to be doing it because it's the right fucking thing to do. And that's it. You don't expect any fucking special prizes from it. And he was like, I guess I never really thought about it that way. And I was like, it's because straight. In my brain, I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't look when there are friends and they're trying, we don't say certain things out loud.
Right. And it like, and that show has triggered many more like conversations, and I love him, but Chris is like a golden retriever. He doesn't see people being bad, and so when he yeah. So when we're going through these episodes, he's like, man, it's just, why can't people just fucking accept others for who they are? Why do they?
That's a really good question, Chris.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the reason, like, when he said it, I was like, yeah, it should be that way, shouldn't it? Like, that should just be the bare minimum of which every person should be able to live. But the problem is that there's a group of people who can't live that way, and these people have podcasts.
Yeah. Man, speaking of podcast.
Oh, no.
Speaking of podcast, I've been going through the Magnus archives, and I've gotten to the point where the quality of the show has definitely dipped.
Oh, no. Okay, what part is it? Where are we at?
All right, we're at like episodes like 100, 104.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, everyone's yelling. I get it. Why don't you move on, get on with it? You know, I'm at the point where the plot is getting in the way of the story. And
Wait. Are we at the part where everyone's yelling at each other because of the things that have happened and people have been keeping secrets that they shouldn't have, and so no one trusts each other anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I get that this is happening. Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Magnus Archives.
All right.
Magnus Archives is a podcast. It's a fictional podcast. It's about spooky shit.
Okay. So
for about 100 episodes. Yeah. You definitely way more adult. So for about 100 episodes, which is a really good run, like everything's going pretty good.
Right.
You know, but around episode 101, it starts to nosedive. And then they did a thing that made me go, please don't do this.
Please stop.
Which is they start running into Asian people. And every Asian person has that super fucking thick, chinky accent. And I am like, please don't do this.
Wait. What? Wait. Where are we talking about now? Where are we?
I don't even know what the story is. But it's like episode 104, I think, where he's talking to like an Asian woman. And I'm like, no, please don't do this. Don't make her talk in this thick accent. Please don't do it. I don't care if the actress is Asian. It's grating me.
That doesn't really happen past that episode.
Good. But it's one of those. Please no. It's like if all of a sudden there was a black character and he was a pimp. And you'd be like, oh, come on.
See, the problem...
This is the first identifiable, like, fucking ethnic character. You're doing this.
See, okay, that's the...
Yeah, it's the City Walk accent, you know? I mean...
And that's the... Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. So... And it's very... Okay, I know what you're talking about. I know what episode. I know what story we're talking about. I know who this is. The problem is that so John, if I can explain this to you.
Okay, because again, in the dark, I will be the impartial judge.
Okay. So the thing with the Magnus Archives is the basic story is that in the heart of London there is a creepy old. It was set up in the Victorian era. No one knows exactly what it does outside of it. called the Magnus Institute. It's one of those, oh, we're an academic thing that got a government grant when Queen Victoria was here. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah, and they house like supernatural artifacts and things like that.
Oh, okay,
yes.
So like Warehouse 13, SCP, shit like that. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that. And the main thing that the Institute does is that it archives supernatural stories and accounts. And
how very British.
Yes, and we are and there is a reason why it focuses so much on archivery instead of actually doing anything. There is a reason, and it becomes a central plot point in the second half of the show. But we're introduced to the character of John, who is the archivist he's the head archivist, and he's taking over for someone who has passed away. And the archives are a fucking mess. And so he is going about the duty of trying to properly collate all the files, but also making audio recordings of all the reports to create a secondary record. Like a secondary record that's not just on paper. And for the most part, it's him reciting these like horrifying like stories. But then as the show goes on, it develops a plot. It becomes like it becomes a proper radio play built around the idea of also recording these awful stories.
Yeah, so kind of what happens to Night Vale after a while.
Yeah. It's that, except it's a lot more adult. It's a lot less.
It's also a lot more. It's also a lot more cohesive.
Well,
it's more fair. It's more cohesive. It's also a bit queer, which is always great.
Well, as it should be.
I think Jack, by the point you're listening, I think you can tell which two of our main characters are going to become an item.
Oh yeah, it's pretty clear.
He's such a sweet boy. He's stupid, but he's sweet.
Yeah,
we love Martin.
He's nice.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I'm not hearing much.
So getting on to the chinky thing.
Getting onto that. The problem is that for the vast majority of the show, no one's ethnic or racial background is ever actually brought up. Save for one character, but that's because she has an Arabic last name, but it's never actually talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
And
like, a lot of the accounts are like secondhand recorded. So someone's like reading a verbatim.
Okay. Right. So you don't really get a lot of like ethnism whatsoever in the show. Like the most you may get is like is someone pointing out, oh, this account happened in Norway, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So this character that he's talking about is one of a handful of non-secondary characters who comes in, and all of a sudden she's very Asian.
Yeah. How Asian we talking about, Jack?
You must understand, Mr. Jones. It does that.
Oh man!
And I'm like, I can tell this is an actual Asian person doing it, but I'm still pissed.
What year was this made?
2016.
Ow. Okay, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not great.
The one thing I can say about it is that the show is British, and they didn't realize how racist it was.
Well, the other this actually brings me to something that a couple of things that I realized. First of all, the other fucking problem that I have with where the plot is you're just keeping things mysterious just to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Realistically, we really should just be telling people things.
Right.
You know, but no, we're keeping it mysterious. It's like, no, it's not mysterious. It's annoying. You know, because the audience is already there. We've already figured this part out, and you're just not saying it. Anyway, the other thing that I realized is I always like have this kind of weird problem with the image of British people hoarding like magic items, you know, and things like that. And I was thinking about why I don't like that so much. Like this, it's been a running theme. It's like, for example, I was in a game, I was playing a character, and my character inherits like this magical house, and there are all these magic items because the house used to belong to a powerful wizard. You know, it's set in the modern world, and one of the characters is like this British bitch who comes from like an institute that is trying to keep all of these items away from mankind. Mm-hmm. And I immediately had like a terrible reaction to that character, to the point where I was like, look, you got to play a different character. This is not going to work. Like, not only does my character hate this character, I hate this character.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say she was die. I was about to say, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, like, probably a character that's very well, of course we have to have it this way, or else. Well,
yeah, and it was, and in the game, it was a situation where it's like, well, why do we have to do that? You know, like, why do we have to do that? You know, what is it you're worried about? Because you're trying to get me to give you shit to put in your vault when it is perfectly safe in the vault of the master sorcerer of Earth. I don't think it's getting any safer. So I'm not opening that thing just to give you things to make you feel better. And I realized, wait a minute. This is a British, yes, it's colonialism. It's a Britishism. Hey, let's take all your shit, put it in a museum that only we can look at. And I had that realization. I was like, oh, that's why I hate this idea so much.
So Jack, I have a question though.
Yeah.
I do have a question because I understand. Okay, so one, I understand why you have a distaste for that character. It is distasteful. Mm-hmm. To be fair, there's a reason they didn't do that again.
Good.
Because it got brought up to the showrunners. Hey, this, and they went, oh no. Which, how to put it? It's one of those things where it's like, white British people who aren't necessarily overtly racist sometimes don't realize when they accidentally do racism.
I'm willing. Let me put it this way. Whether or not I'm angry at them, it still pissed me off.
Oh, no. It should. Because it's wrong.
Yeah. Thorgrim gets it. It's a Doctor Strange Sanctorum. It'll be fucking fine.
No, exactly.
If it's not fine there, it ain't fine wherever the fuck you are.
And I also get why you're frustrated with the plot kind of faffing around about everyone not talking properly to each other. Believe me, those of us who are like diehard fans who will like buy merch and shit, we also got irritated with it, so it's not just you.
Okay, good.
We got irritated with it. We were very happy when the story finally.
Well, yeah, when you get to the point where it's just like, oh, everyone's like a Cthulhu cultist. Okay. Why don't we just do that? You know, like let's just do that.
So here's my question, because I honestly forget necessarily where like the number of episodes along the plot line are. Where you are, has the Institute itself become a character yet?
Not quite.
Okay.
We're still at the we have just gotten into what an avatar is.
Okay. This is what I'm going to tell you, and I'm gonna really hope this isn't, because especially with your brain, I'm gonna really hope this isn't like a spoiler. But I feel that if you're getting pissed off about the colonialistic undertones of the Institute, this needs to be pointed out to you.
Okay.
The Institute itself does become a character. It is not your friend.
Okay, that I could have fucking guessed.
It is nobody's friend.
Yeah, it's part of the all-seeing or whatever the fuck, whatever they call it.
Yep, it's very much a part of the eye. It's
yeah. That was actually one thing I did kind of like about that world, which was you have these big eldritch entities, but they're all a thing. But that thing is super specific. You have the eye. What does the eye do? It just observes things. That's it.
Actually, what's interesting is that so you know how like they're manifestations of fear, and that literally there's no real way to defeat them, because as long as consciousness exists, these things exist.
Yeah.
So something, I'm not sure if it's brought up yet, but it does get brought up. This is what I think is so interesting about them. They can change. They can change, and new versions of the fears can break away and become semi-independent.
Yeah. I just like one of my problems is that it's really obvious that they wanted Michael to be one thing and then change their minds, and so retconned it.
Yeah.
Because by the time that gets resolved, I am like, this makes no sense.
It's
I
one
know
of those...
what you told me. I understand what happened.
Yeah.
But this is a retcon. This smells of retcon.
It's one of the problems that come from writing while working. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the It's unfortunately one of those things where it's like, well, when we're making a serial,
they should not have gotten rid of Jürgen Leitner so quickly.
No,
that character should have stuck around for a bit.
He's fascinating, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you kind of want that library now?
Well, I just like the idea that, like, I loved that twist where, they're looking for all the evil magical books, and all the magical books have a name, Jürgen Leitner, in them. And so they're like, oh my God, he must be this, like, powerful, evil necromancer guy. And they meet him, and he is a magician, but he's not evil. He's not exactly good either, but he's not like a big bad guy. He's just a collector of old grimoires. And the reason they all have his name in him is because, like every fucking librarian, he put a book plate in it that said, property of the library, Jürgen Leitner, just because, just like you would have in a library.
I do kind of like this
I thought that was kind of cool, and he's just this like old fucking Norwegian guy.
I do like this idea that he really thought that he could just keep everything safe.
Yeah,
like,
but
he really
like
thought
that was a stupid idea, because all you did was put all the evil things in one place where one asshole could come and just take everything.
Yeah.
Which is what happened.
That is the inherent problem of putting all the evil shit in one location, right?
Exactly.
It's why the vaults of the Vatican are a bad idea.
But yet I still think we should raid them.
Oh no, we should, because it was a bad idea, and we're going to explain to them exactly why.
Yeah, however, listening to that podcast did give me an idea of what to do in Babylon, because I'd had this imagine this British group of like occultists who are going to be like kind of they're not supposed to be like a big bad guy, but they're supposed to be like kind of an annoyance. Because it's a world where like, oh yes, we're taking, if you're like, oh, we take all these magical items, oh, we have power, but you're entering a world where every other person is a spellcaster, like a legitimate spellcaster. So they're like just completely fucking outclassed, by people who just look like scumbags.
Us.
Yeah, queers and scumbags who are just sort of like, oh, fuck this, like, mind bolt. I'm gonna fucking fuck that. The equivalent of a bunch of dudes coming in and being like, yes, we're taking over now. Yes, we have the spear of Longinus. And then everyone in the building that they've entered just all of a sudden starts casting spells like they're all cocking shotguns.
It's like,
and you're just like, yeah, that was never gonna work.
It's also weird because like the Magnus Archives, I think part of the reason that like it resonates with me so much as a show is because it actually hits on an idea that I had back in college, and I tried to get other people involved, but unfortunately, college kids have this very terrible fucking pattern of going, oh yeah, I'm into occultism, and then like it's just a fad. And I'm like, no, I need people who are obsessed.
Yeah.
Which is I actually wanted to form an esoteric society that was literally dedicated to just archiving, recording occultic stories and activity.
No, this is a great idea. Like the actual Illuminati, the one that actually existed, did this.
Yes.
And it purposely did it so that rich people would buy fucking textbooks because you would promise them great magical power. So you'd be like, yeah, we need to buy this like ancient book that's got like recipes and rituals in it, and it'll make you live forever. Oh, okay. How much does it cost? Well, it's quite hefty, but 30,000.
What? It'll be quite the adventure, let me tell you.
Yeah, like that's what the actual Illuminati, the real Illuminati, did.
Rich,
and then they funneled all that, and then they funneled all of that money into like education.
Yeah.
People, because like people are like, oh my god, there was a real Illuminati. I'm like, yeah, it's called the university system because that's what they built. That's it. That's your answer. It's like, was the Bavarian Illuminati real? Hell yeah, it was. How come we don't hear about them anymore? Well, they just became the university system. It's sort of like with the Freemasons. It's like, what happened to the Freemasons? Well, they just became architects.
Yeah. Again, listen to a great podcast about the Illuminati and like the entire history of it, and I did my own little like reading on it, and it's like literally every time this happens, it's the exact same thought. Oh, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be weird and esoteric and get money from rich people to buy books and make a cult, and it'll be fun. And then about like 10 years into it, people are like, oh fuck, what did I do?
Yeah. This has gone a little bit awry. Because people suck, and they're not always in on the joke.
Yeah, no, exactly. It kind of sucks. I really wanted to do that. I really wanted to create an esoteric society that was entirely dedicated to just archiving shit. for no reason other than it's fun to do.
Like the Discordians. Y'all remember those fun?
Yeah.
People?
That or like, you know, the Church of the Subgenius, you know, things like that.
Wait. Remember? Yeah, I spoke to them the other day.
All right.
Yeah, they're still around. I mean, it ain't the heyday no more, but like they're still around.
Yeah.
So you know how like one of the founders of Discordianism fucking went crazy and actually started believing the bullshit he was saying?
Well, yeah, but
that happens.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to say it. Like that's the thing that always like stops me, because I'm like, well, actually, the thing that stops me is I don't like hurting people. But the other thing that stops me is what if I start taking this too seriously because like now money's involved?
Don't go full Crowley. Basically, don't go full Crowley.
Well, the funny thing is that Crowley's actually not a good example of that.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he got kicked out because he said it was all bullshit.
Because he was, yeah. Like you don't want to go L. Ron Hubbard with it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know.
And I think one of the greatest things is that if I had actually made this group and it had actually like taken off, especially since like I live near Princeton, so you know, idle rich people are a thing.
Yes.
I think one of like the greatest things that I would have wanted to do is this whole thing of like, yes, we have to plan this expedition to go find this ancient relic that, you know, and then if we find the thing, I'll just go, yes, I'll take photographs of it, I'll write it down in the archive book, and then I'll close the book and go, all right, back home then. Wait, aren't we taking No, we're not.
No, not doing it. Actually, one of the things that fucking pisses me off about this is why I didn't become a paranormal investigator. I knew it was bullshit from the word go. But I thought the bullshit would be more interesting when you really examined it.
Not even a little.
And it isn't. Yeah, like not even close. And that made me very, very, very angry. That made me very depressed.
Wait. Well, what? Okay, specifically, what are you talking about? Because I have freelanced as a paranormal investigator. So what exactly are you talking about?
Yeah, you know, presence of ghosts, ghostly activity, cryptozoology, things like that.
Right.
You know, like for example,
readings and shit like that.
Yeah, well, EMF is bullshit. But
it's
I thought I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit in a haunted house and freak myself out.
Right.
You know, like that sounds cool. But I made this one mistake.
Okay.
Which is I tried to pin down what the actual legend was. And if it had any merit whatsoever. I wasn't looking for like, oh my God, here's ectoplasm, proof positive. I'm like, was there a woman named Ellen that lived in this house? Because that's the name of the ghost that's supposed to haunt the place.
Right.
And it's like, more often than not, no.
Nope.
You're like, well, this hotel's haunted. It's been around for 200 years. And you're like, oh, awesome. Building's 50 years old.
Who is it haunted by? Oh, an old chambermaid that used to go in between Mr. Lincoln and Mr. Washington's rooms.
Yeah, or something like, yeah. You always get this great story, but when you look at the reality, it's always disappointing. You know, I thought I was going to at least find like, oh yeah, there was this dude who lived in this place. He killed like 5 people and they burned him at the stake. You know, that's kind of the stuff I was expecting to find. And more often than not, it's just like, no, this house was built by a guy named Joe who died in it. He worked at the post office.
Yeah.
Did he?
I guess I'm just lucky.
You must be, because like every time I looked up stuff, it's just sort of like, well, this is a whole bunch of nothing. It's like UFO sightings. You ever been in a UFO sighting? It's the most bullshit thing ever. You know, oh, what are those lights in the skies? What are you even pointing at? It's like when I found out that chemtrails were literally just about plain exhaust.
Yeah,
I was
of course
like,
they are.
I thought like someone came out with a spectrometer and did a reading wrong and was like, oh my God, they're putting fluoride in the air. No, it's literally people seeing like fucking the exhaust coming out of a fucking jet plane and going, why isn't that evaporating? Because it's way up in the fucking sky. Same reason the clouds aren't evaporating right now.
Yeah.
You think.
But it's got to be government smoke.
Yeah. Well, see, that's
what?
the thing. So, I have another podcast. I know I'm white. I'm sorry. I have another podcast to listen to that directly that basically watches and listens to InfoWars and breaks down all the bullshit Alex Jones believes in and how it's been proven wrong time and time and again. And it's like, basically the crux of it is, this is what every conspiracy theorist is. They read the headline of something, decide how they feel about that, and then put whatever conspiracy they want on top of it. Like, they read the headline of a fucking article from like The Blaze or some other fucking shit rag, and then go, yeah. So what this story is about, these planes that are dropping chemtrails, this is them trying to transfer children, and it's like, did you actually read into it? And there's been no trace amounts of blah 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 or anything like that. The conspiracy theory, the idea of the supernatural, always supersedes whatever reality is.
Yeah.
You see, here's the thing. Like when in my brief handful of years, like doing paranormal investigation, I from the get-go, I had a very solid notion, and that was this: whatever I'm doing, it has to either satisfy the part of me that loves doing historical research, or it has to satisfy the part of me that likes getting freaked out in weird places.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
It has to be at least one. If it's both, that's fucking great. So how I always did this was because I had 3 other people with me, so we were a group of 4, and every time something came up, it was like, okay, 2 of us are going to go do archival research. 2 of us are going to go in the field. Who wants to do what? And we're not going to talk to each other until we're done, and then we're going to come back and compare notes. And which I thought was a better idea, because in that case, you're not really influencing each other. So whatever you find is more organic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because to put it,
like that's the thing, man. It's like it's confirmation bias. Like I understand, like you're doing your historical research, you're finding out, like, with all the supernatural parts of it. And I can't tell you whether that's real or not. But like the problem is that like these people that fucking connect UFOs and chemtrails and all that shit, they're not playing by those fucking rules. They don't care. And then,
Oh no, I know. I'm saying I'm better than
that. Well, okay, I'm fine. Just because you do more bogus research doesn't make the research anymore. Look, wait, skeptic. All right.
Well, hold on. Isn't it only bogus if I claim to know what's going on?
if you're doing research and you have no clue what's going on, you're just observing.
well, yeah, because in field you're doing observation. Because how can you research things that, like, even if any of that shit is real, science can't fucking prove or disprove it, because, so how the fuck is that? That's just observation.
Yeah. For me, it's all about studying legends and the nature of fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm really interested in. I don't need there to be an actual witch, but I want to know how people came up with that.
Right.
Yes.
That's where I come from with it, where it's like, all right, where the fuck did this come from? Like, we believe that there's a child in the fucking Amazonian forest. There's a child spirit that has backwards feet. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, yeah, where'd that come from? Yeah. Well, like, here's the thing. I think it all started because in my neighborhood, there was like a witch that was supposed to live in the woods by the house. And I say woods, but I mean, like, it was a woods near a suburb. But
it's a wooded area.
Yeah, it's a wooded area. But here was the thing that made it interesting. There was a fucking old wrecked house with a water mill next to it.
Yes.
In those woods. So it's not hard to figure out why, like, kids would see that and think, witches, like.
Right.
That was always interesting to me.
Yeah,
because it's like. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, tell kids stories about witches. They see a busted house. Like, it looks like it landed on somebody, like in the fucking Wizard of Oz. They're going to think witches. Like, okay, like, this is kind of cool. And I would always try to get into those places because I'm like, well, what's in there? And the thing that freaked me out is there were a lot of those buildings that I kind of broke into where I walked in thinking I was going to find a vacant house, and it wasn't.
There's somebody living in there.
Yeah, there's somebody either living there or inside, passed out. Be like, ooh, what's in the bedroom? Oh, there's like a really crusty old guy snoring in here. Back up. He doesn't need to be a werewolf. He just needs to be a crazy guy, and it's bad time. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah, we're getting the fuck out now.
Like, now you understand why parents tell these tales, why this shit gets handed down through, like, oral tradition.
Yeah, exactly. If you run into an isolated house in the middle of the woods, that person who lives there is probably nuts. It has a lot of axes.
So we don't do that.
Like, there's a really terrible documentary called Cropsy.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
I hate the documentary because that story is actually so fucking interesting. Because it's like, don't go in that area because Cropsy will get you, and he kidnaps children. And it turns out there actually was a child murderer living out there. Like, for real. Cropsy was real.
Yep, and it fucking linked to this, like, abandoned asylum that used to be out on Staten Island, and Geraldo Rivera was connected to it. It's weird.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So you're like, well, I wonder how this urban legend happened. Because there was a guy actually kidnapping and killing children.
And the thing is,
I don't know where the Bunny Man in Maryland came from, though, man. I'll tell you that. I don't even.
But don't you want to know?
I do kind of want to know. I mean, I know the legend, but I'm like, what? Crazy guy escaped from an asylum and then put on a Easter Bunny costume, start killing people. That's a 7-year-old kid. That is awesome shit. As you get a little bit older, you're like, wait, I got questions.
Why is it a bunny costume?
Yeah,
Because
why
it's
a
what he
bunny
had.
costume? You know,
Because
like
it was what was around, all right? He was escaping the mental hospital. He had to find clothes. He couldn't wear his inmate clothes. That's too fucking suspicious. Oh, look, the Easter Bunny's clothes are right fucking there. I'll be the goddamn Easter Bunny. And in fact, weird.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you really looked for it, if there was actually some type of history of like a guy dressed as like Easter Bunny for either like, you know, like a local mall or store or whatever, who like ended up like touching kids and shit.
Yeah, like, and that just kind of got extrapolated into an axe murderer.
Yep.
You know, like, yeah, because that was always like kind of my hypothesis. You know,
Right.
but I couldn't find anything on it. It's because it's like everything's just way too fucking vague, which you would think would not be the case if the story is man in Easter Bunny costume kills children in the woods. That seems a little specific.
And
I would definitely put that back on the shelf for like, you know, Blockbuster Friday. Like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this shit? Come on.
but John, I gotta say, I love you to death. But don't ever think that I'm doing shit in such an idiotic way that you can compare me to the Warrens. Okay, don't ever fucking do that again. Don't ever doubt me like that ever fucking again.
Look, I'm just saying. Sometimes, like, you know, I'll be willing to fucking say, like, when I'm tripping, magic is real.
Right.
It turns out they actually did find a somewhat of an origin point for the Bunny Man legend.
Oh, cool. What is it?
So it actually looked into it, and there are 2 incidents in the area of people threatening people with an axe in a bunny costume. Now, no confirmed murders. Just dude in a bunny outfit with an axe. 2 different dudes. Separated by several years.
Homeless people are real, Jack?
Is the bunny costume interesting, though?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I don't know why he was wearing a bunny costume, but like, there's actually a police report of like, yeah, we were wandering in the woods and the guy in a bunny costume said, get off my property, and was like swinging an axe. So, you know, we ran. And now we're telling you about it. What the fuck? And it's one of those like, oh God, what's the guy's name? Cadet. No. Ba. Oh, they don't give his name. But it's the equivalent of like, oh, that'll be Bob. And it happened in the early 70s.
Because of course it did.
Because of course it did, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, well, that kind of fucking answers that question. You know, if you got to get off my property, but he's in a rabbit costume, you're going to be like, excuse me? Why are you in that? You know what? I'm just running. You know, I'm just going to run. Fuck that. And basically, he lived in the area near what is known as Bunny Man Bridge.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, the bridge became known because
on at least 2 separate occasions, homeless bunny man with an axe.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and the thing is the guy who made the report was like an Air Force cadet. Okay. Yeah, around midnight when returning from a football game, they reportedly parked their car in a field on Giddy Road to visit an uncle who lived across the street from where the car was parked. As they sat in the front seat, they noticed someone moving outside the rear window. Moments later, the front passenger window was smashed and there was a white-clad figure near the broken window. Bennett turned around while the man screamed to them about trespassing, including, "You're on private property and I have your tag number." And they drove away. The couple discovered a hatchet on the car floor. He discovered the hatchet on the car floor. And it is now in in a museum near the Southern Railway overpass.
That's hilarious. I love that.
With the article of like this happening. What? Wow. Yeah, 2 incidents of a man in a rabbit costume threatening people with an axe.
Hey,
the second was on October, 10 days later, when construction security guard Paul Phillips approached a man standing on the porch of an unfinished home. Man was wearing a gray, black and white bunny costume and was about 20 years old. The man began chopping at a porch post with a long-handled axe, saying, "You're trespassing. If you come closer, I'll chop your head off."
Isn't reality way more interesting than fiction?
Yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, there was a guy who just, for some reason, wore this weird rabbit costume.
Because he wanted people off his goddamn property.
Because he wanted people off his property.
And nobody's going to listen to a guy in an oversized Garfield shirt and fucking slippers. But if you put on
Garfield slasher. Holy shit, the Garfield slasher. He only kills on Mondays.
No, I hate you. And his calling card is like the fucking car suction cup Garfield.
No.
Yeah. He leaves a suction cup Garfield on your fucking window. A bloody one. It's got blood on it.
No. What he does is he cuts out the Garfield strip that ran in that day's newspaper, and he like shoves it in the victim's mouth.
That's more reality based, and I kind of like that.
I know. That's why I like it, John.
Well, at least for once you like reality. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you because no. I mean legit. Here's an example of like a quote unquote case that we had, right? Now, I live in New Jersey. There's a lot of weird shit about New Jersey. There's a fucking magazine that's been running for over 40 years and several book publications dedicated to that concept.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know Weird New Jersey. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
So, like near the county line of where I live, there's this old like watermill house that it gets referred to as as like, that used to be a witch's house and witches haunt it, and there's a weird stone table on the property, and fucking satanic sacrifices and shit. And so we went, okay,
Andrew
cool.
Jackson was scared to go to the place without an onion in his belt nor a sacred carrot.
So we just went, okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, who wants to handle research? You two? Okay, two. Cool. Then me and you, we're going to go do field work.
Wait, you asked people to do work? See, that was your first mistake.
They volunteered.
That still was your first mistake. Okay, that was your second mistake.
What was the first one?
The first one was you asked people to do work. The second one is you asked volunteers.
We were a paranormal investigation group. The fuck do you want? Anyway.
You can take polyfuel.
Look, I've worked for a lot of nonprofits. I've done a lot of work for nonprofits, and I have done enough work for nonprofits to tell you I do not want to work with nonprofits.
All right, whatever, fuck it. So the two of us who did field work, we did the whole thing of like, cool, we're gonna go out there at night with cameras and recorders and see if any fucking thing happens. Your normal shit.
Yeah.
Research group, their whole thing was, okay, I want okay, try to find if there's any source of these legends, or if it's just people just made shit up because they were bored.
Yeah.
And it turned the research on that particular one was actually the more interesting one, because it turned out well, where did the witch rumors come from? Well, because at turn of the century there was actually like a cunning woman and her mother who lived in this house and actually like did treatments for poor people in the area.
Yeah.
Which was very
witch.
which was very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, well, where did the satanic rumor thing come from? Because what we found is that there was actually a weird stone table on the property that was there, and we were like, okay, why is there a weird stone table on the property? And what was the point of this, and where did the satanic rumors come from? Well, the reason it was put there was because apparently there were plans to turn the area into like a historical walking park. And so they had put certain things like benches and plinths and things in the area, but the funding fell through for it. So these random objects are just kind of in the woods. And it's like, wow, okay. And so where'd the satanic rumors come from? Well, funny thing about the 70s and 80s, a bunch of teenagers like smoking weed and like going, hey man, I picked up the Satanic Bible and the Necronomicon, man.
Right.
So we
Like
actually
you
do. So looked through newspaper clippings, talked to people who've lived in the area for a long time. Turns out, while there was no weird satanic conspiracy, much like the actual shit of what happened in upstate New York around the Son of Sam trials, turns out there was just a history of like teenagers fucking around with semi-occultic shit out there because they thought it was funny.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and so that was the research end, and then okay, let's go out in the middle of the night. Does anything weird happen? A couple weird things, couple sounds, half of which, like a couple things that like half of which, okay, cool, that this is clearly debunkable. Other half of which, don't know. So question mark.
It was just goss in the graveyard, just fucking. All right.
Hey, that's what I was doing.
See, it feels better when you're.
You haven't lived until you've had sex with someone on top of their grandmother's grave.
Mary Shelley knew how to live, man.
She did.
But yeah, so at least from when I did this, half of the results of what like we went and quote unquote looked into, half of the time the result was legend stemming from actual historical events, all supernatural phenomena easily debunkable, and then the other half was don't know, possible egregore, close.
And you know what you didn't get from that? A Conjuring movie deal.
I know, right?
Oh no, I have integrity as a researcher.
You know what you ain't got? Money in the bank.
Oh man. Although speaking of paranormal investigations, so
I'm just saying. Let me finish.
You know who else don't got money in the bank? Ed and Lorraine Warren, because they dead.
And thank God for that.
Let
me finish my point. Look, yeah, usually when you investigate supernatural claims, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find really normal shit that's going to be the explanation for it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
if you're lucky.
Well, either you find normal shit or you find out people made this stuff up because, they don't want teens fucking in Lover's Lane.
Yeah. You saw that Bigfoot documentary, right?
Which one? The one
about
the one
Bigfoot and like Humboldt Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Holy shit. That one's amazing because of how bonkers it gets.
I love when they were like, well, you know, there was a guy we called Bigfoot. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Like Bigfoot Joe, you're like, that's gotta be him, right? That's gotta be it. No, it wasn't. And you're like, well, now what?
Well, there was this other guy we called Bigfoot, and he walked around without shoes on.
What?
And then you get episode 4.
And it's like, oh, by the way, the Hell's Angels. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. You're like, wait, how are they involved? You know,
Is Bigfoot a Hell's Angel too?
Okay, see, if Bigfoot was a Hell's Angel, I would have a little bit more respect for the concept of Bigfoot. You know, because at that point it's like, well, he just wants to live the American dream.
See, that's always the thing. When people start going off about Bigfoot stories, I always have to put a hand up because I'm like, wait. What Bigfoot are we going with here? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay, are we going to actually go into like the legends, stories, and possible history of the native peoples who talk about this creature or creatures, you know, which has an actual cultural and historical significance? Or are we talking about drunk white people? What are we doing here?
Yeah, because I'd be willing to bet that, like, you know, like it's one of those, like, I'm sure there was occasionally like some really big hairy dude, you know, that, you know, didn't get along with people in the tribe, and so he just wandered off on himself on his own in the woods, got weird.
Yeah.
You know, that I could see. But white people are the ones that ascribe all the magical powers to him, and none of those magic powers make sense. He's telekinetic sometimes, but only sometimes. He can shapeshift.
Yeah, he can shift between trees. He'll go behind one tree and come out another.
There are. I don't want to get too much into it because it does technically involve like closed stories and cultural practices, but I will say this. The Native American tribes and nations who talk about Sasquatch, there are technically semi-supernatural things associated with it. They're all coherent and fit together. And much like things attributed to like Wendy boys and skin pedestrians, it's one of those things of, oh, there's a cultural historical importance for this.
Yeah. It's a little bit more. Is spooky cryptid stuff cultural appropriation? Not usually. Bigfoot, on the other hand, is the one that kind of does it.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
Is spooky cryptid stuff's cultural appropriation? And I'm like, not usually. Bigfoot's the one that kind of gets into that territory.
Anytime a white person does anything that's like, well, I've got a story about a Wendat. No, you fucking don't. Stop that.
Yeah. Now, if you tell me, like, let me put it this way. Scottish people can talk to me about Nessie all day.
Yeah, they can.
You can tell me about Nessie. Hell, Irish people can tell me about leprechauns and old people. I'm into it. You know. Oh, but one thing I did find out, and this is about urban legends in general. So every city kind of has its thing. You know, every region and city kind of has its thing that it has the most of. In San Francisco, it's ghosts.
Yeah, there's a lot of ghosts in San Francisco.
Yeah. For some reason, the two places that have a lot of vampire stories are obviously New Orleans. The other one's Seattle. Don't look at me. I have no idea why.
No, think about it. What is Seattle? It's a town that's built on top of another fucking town. A city built on top of another fucking city.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Like-
but it was just weird that it was
The swamp
like,
stole. I built a second one. That sank into the swamp. So I built a third one. That burned down, fell over, then sank into the swamp. But the fourth one stayed up.
yeah, that's a history of Seattle.
Yeah, it is.
You know, but it is weird to be like, why vampires?
There's an underground city.
Yeah,
Well.
but why vampires?
Because the government.
Oh, here we
Yeah, I haven't
go.
discovered the answer, by the way. It just has a
No,
lot of
I'm
vampire
serious.
stories.
No, I'm serious. It's because of the government and the railway. Okay, so
Hey.
News, everybody.
okay, so if you look in the history of Seattle, Seattle's one of those odd places where white white settlers and the native population actually tried to, and successfully for a long time, came together amicably.
Yeah. Like the land that Seattle sits on was legitimately granted to them by Chief Seattle.
Yeah, and the native people were very welcome in the city, and it was. When
Everything
did that
was pretty groovy, you know?
when did that start to change? Around the turn of the century, where industries backed by the federal government started to come in and slowly bleed the land dry,
Yeah.
like the vampires industry is.
Yeah, but you could say that for so many places.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, like, for instance, like, this is why, like, but it also depends on, like, the style in which the industry takes. Like, for instance, this is why Appalachian paint and ghost stories go the way they go because of the evils of the mine.
Right. Good point.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look
Like-
more into that. So
Like
the point I was building up to was this. Then you get to Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is everything. Every neighborhood, it seems like every neighborhood and every block has an urban legend associated with it. To the point where it's ridiculous. I shit you not. Like, for example, you know, you look at Griffith Park, and if you're like me, you're like, okay, I'm going to put werewolves in Griffith Park in my supernatural setting because that seems like a good fit.
it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, here's the part you don't know when you do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Griffith Park has werewolf legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is the Wolfman of Griffith Park. Now, I was just like, wait, what? There's actually supposed to be a Wolfman that lives in Griffith Park. I mean, sure, it's probably just some guy in like a really good costume. You know, because I mean, Hollywood's right over there, man. You know, like you'd be like, what are we gonna do with this this costume that we have from The Howling? It's kind of falling apart. Quick, put it on and run through Griffith Park at night. See what happens.
Oh,
Like,
Jack,
yeah.
you're not aware of the world of darkness, my friend.
Well, what I'm saying is this.
Hate you.
Yeah, you go to one other place, it's like, and this is where they killed the leprechaun. And you're like, wait, back up. What are you talking about? Now, granted, it is a place where, like, you know, people make shit up all the time.
Really?
But it was just the fact that I was like, all right, let's look at all, like, the urban legends of LA. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of this. There's ghouls in the sewers, you know? And I'm like, why? Okay. Wait, I thought okay, all right. There's supposed to be an ancient city under that thing. And I'm like, I thought I was just writing. I didn't know that this was an idea that like people built urban legends on already.
No.
What if your writing is actually making it reality? Ooh.
Well, I don't know, man. You tell me.
John.
I'm just realizing I gotta start being careful.
John, no. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, things don't all of a sudden become real just because you write them. Or do they? I don't know.
Oh no, I was gonna go more into the vein of like, well, Jack, don't you always talk about the fact that you get like a weird like semi-hum internal brain electric current whenever you go to LA more than other places and you're not entirely sure why?
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah.
Yeah, you just tapped into some it's coming out in your writing.
I feel like I must have because like here's the like it's so you got like your ghosts of Marilyn Monroe, the Hollywood sign, all that shit. You know, but then you get shit like The Woman in Red. Then you get shit like the Owl Women. And you're like, what?
And then you go,
I thought that was just some crazy shit that they put in that movie Under the Silver Lake. Wait, like LA legitimately has a legend about owl women who will creep into your home and fucking have sex with you, steal your shit, and then steal your shit and kill you?
Yes.
It's LA, baby.
What? You know, yeah, but it's one of those like it's very easy for me to see how all this stuff would happen in LA. It's super easy. It's just the fact that it did. Because it's like, you got to think about it like this. Okay, so this is a town where a bunch of women put on owl masks, broke into rich dudes' houses, had sex with them, and then jacked their shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fucking water deep, man.
I'm starting to wonder if Waterdeep isn't based on LA because it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
Oh, actually,
that house is haunted. Like a lot of the house hauntings are actually, those are sometimes some of my favorite because those are the ones where it's like, yeah, you think that place is haunted because a special effects guy lives there.
Yep.
You know, but then there's like the ghost of like Griffith W. Griffith himself. And like the fact that Griffith Park itself was legitimately cursed by a witch very publicly back in like 1905 or something.
Yes.
Because she was supposed to inherit the land, but got fucked out of it. Got fucked out of the will. And so she's like, I will now curse this land. And as a result, because they originally bought Griffith Park because they were like, oh, we're going to make all this money off of this property. Well, here's the thing about Griffith Park. Nothing that is built there, with the exception of the observatory, has not lost money or met with a horrible demise.
Is it terrible luck or is it actually cursed? Well, you know.
Well, yeah, you start to wonder because you're like, all right, what happened to this guy? Well, standing outside of his newly built house, the new owner of what would become Griffith Park steps outside of his house and gets hit by a tree. It's like, what? Yeah. Just killed him dead.
God, I want to...
In 2004, 2 people fucking on a stone table in the middle of Griffith Park were also killed by a falling tree. So what I'm saying is trees in Griffith Park is deadly, okay? Be very careful. They will fucking attack you.
Don't trust the trees.
I would God, I would love that. I would love to, after I'm dead, be remembered as like, oh yeah, you know, that old moon doctor, he went out and he cursed that place and fucked up shit been happening ever since.
And ever since then, you couldn't grow a lima bean for shit.
Yeah, like there's another one where it's like a guy got struck by lightning twice in the same spot, like separated by 5 years.
Why the fuck did you go back there?
What? Because it didn't. Because you're like, what are the odds of that happening again?
They are legitimately astronomical odds.
Well, see, here's the thing. After you get struck by lightning once, the likelihood of you getting struck again increases.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, it's not like it was a huge thunderstorm, so I grabbed a huge piece of sheet metal and ran under the tallest tree I could find. You know, it's not like that. It's like he's literally just hiking. You know, and it starts to rain. Kablam! He's taken to the hospital. Years later, he's taking a hike again. Kablam! I'm saying a lightning god fucking took a shit there or something, dude.
Wait. This is, I think the thing that would make it even better is if the second time it happened was on a clear day and there was no hint of inclement weather whatsoever, and it just happened. If that was how the second one happened, I'd be like, okay, something hinky going on.
Yeah, something's going on, but it's still one of those, like, I can't believe this happened twice. There's also, I mean, there is a guy in the Guinness Book of World Records been struck by lightning 5 times.
And lived.
Lived. Yeah, and lived.
You know, it's like that guy who survived both bombings at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's like that guy.
Yeah.
Imagine you just had basically the sun drop on you and you make it out like, oh, thank fucking God, I got out of there. Son of a bitch.
A bitch. I do not know. I do not know. Some places are just weird, you know, and I kind of like it that way.
Yeah,
I won't deny that at all. Like,
yeah.
And speaking of urban legends, John's home state has one of my favorite urban legends, and I don't think he gets talked about outside of the vicinity enough.
I'm assuming you're not talking about the Bell Witch.
Oh no, everyone knows about the witch.
Yeah, Bell Witch ain't that interesting.
No, there's been several shitty movies made about that story.
Yes.
And we all know what actually happened. He was poisoned by lesbians. We all know this.
Yes. Wait, what
are you
talking about?
Yeah, it was poisoned by lesbians.
The Bell Witch?
No, Andrew Jackson.
No, not Andrew Jackson.
Ooh.
The man who died in the Bell Witch haunting. The man who died in his...
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what's the other legend?
You know, his wife was totally fucking that woman from across the holler. We all know this was happening. But anyway, the other one is God, what? Sorry, I'm having a brain moment. Skin Tom.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of people talk about Skin Tom. He's an interesting fella.
He is an interesting fellow. Like, making sure I'm right because I have forgotten things before. Yeah, basically like a fucking flesh creature that walks around the woods.
Yeah. So the story of Skin Tom is that now the story goes back to, again, about around the time that like the railroads came in, so like around like the mid 1800s. Yeah. So there was this young man named Tom. His last name is reported. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he lived in this town, and he was very much like the ladies' man of the town. Very handsome young man. But there came a point at which he had dated and or slept with virtually all the available women in his immediate vicinity, and possibly several of the married ones. And so around this time, Tom had gotten a car, and he decided to start going out to neighboring areas. Well, he started this affair with this very, very beautiful young woman who was married to one of the local workmen. Now, pretty lady who was married, that never deterred Tom before, so he kept going at it. And there was a lover's lane in this town, so they would often go up parking, you know. And just like any small town, eventually news and gossip starts going around. It eventually gets back to her husband. Well, he decides he's going to tell his wife that he has to go out of town for work, and he leaves the house and he goes around and he hides in the tree line just near the house. And he sees Tom come in, he sees him pick her up, and he decides to follow them. Follows them out to the lover's lane. He comes upon him and he yanks Tom out of the car. Tom starts pleading for his life. No, mister, please. I never knew she was married. I never would touch. Husband's not hearing a word of it. Drags Tom out. And the only thing the wife hears out in the woods is the most blood-curdling scream she's ever heard in her life. Husband comes back holding a hunting knife, covered in blood. Eventually, the police get involved because the man the man gets to the car, pushes his wife out of the car, goes to the police station, and turns himself in. The police go out the next day. They don't find Tom. What they find is Tom's skin hanging in the tree. See, this particular gentleman, he was a workman. He had worked as a butcher and a tanner at some point. So he took his hunting knife and he skinned Tom alive and hung his whole skin up in a tree. And they found some blood and some viscera and some footprints, but they never found Tom. And to this day, Tom is supposed to walk around that area and stalk lovers' lanes. If he catches you, he'll take your skin.
So you best not be cheating. Because skin, Tom knows.
Hey, everybody.
Infidelity. Yeah. Shit like that's cool.
Yeah, I love
Oh.
those stories. I love those stories. It's just one of those weird things where unless it gets a certain amount of notoriety, stories from that particular region of the country don't really leave because it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We never heard nor seen nothing. No, sir.
No. Tom, I think Tom went to the war. Which one? Whichever one he was around. Yeah. Like,
how often outside of like Appalachia do you hear about the boy? You don't really hear about the boy outside of Appalachia. Oh, Jack, do you not know about the boy?
No.
Ooh.
I do not.
Jack, when you're in the woods, do you like to whistle?
I haven't been in the woods in a long time, so I don't know.
All right, well, if you even think about whistling in the woods, I ain't going with you.
Well,
okay. Are we worried about skinwalkers or something?
So the boy is kind of, it's not a skinwalker tale, but it's equally as terrifying. Yogi, go ahead and tell the story, but
well, now I'm wondering if we might be talking about two different child ones. I'm talking about the one with the lantern.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, in which case we don't have to worry because we never caused the deaths of innocent children.
It's true.
The boy Jack, the boy that I'm talking about, he appears as a small child, like around, I'd say, what was he supposed to be, around like 8 or 9 looking?
Yeah, like definitely preteen.
Mm-hmm. He's got work boots, he's got overalls, got his cap, got his neckerchief smeared with soot, and he carries a kerosene lantern. And I remember there was one story about, now there was this man who worked for one of the mining companies up in I think West Virginia. And he had been moved around some, and he's worked his way up the corporate ladder a little bit. But but the reason he'd been moved around so much is a couple times in a couple different mines. See, problem with mines is sometimes gases build up. Them kerosene lanterns, not very good for that.
No.
And of course, around this time, wasn't just full-grown men going down there. It was small children going down there. Boys who ain't even, like, got a chest hair yet. And this particular gentleman, a couple different times, he had just gotten away from gas fires that had happened. That it could be argued this particular gentleman, as foreman on site, might have been responsible for it. But, he'd put that behind him. And he was living out in West Virginia, pretty good, enjoying his hard-earned money. And one night, he hears shuffling outside his garden fence. So he goes out on the front porch and he sees a light, small light out in the distance, getting closer, closer, and closer. And he notices that the light's a kerosene lamp. It's being held by this small boy, this working boy. And, this man being like the mean old bastard that he is. Hey, boy, what you doing out there with that kerosene lamp? You're going to fall. You're going to get lost. Why don't you go on home? Where are you folks? The boy stops. And he turns and he looks at this man. And a voice comes out of this boy. A voice that's too deep and low for any child. Been looking for you for a long time, sir. Was looking for you in Pennsylvania. Was looking for you in Virginia. Moved around a lot. We've all been looking for you. And as the boy held his lamp up higher, in the flickering light behind him, this man saw all the faces of all those young men and boys who should have been able to trust him. The light goes out, blown out. The last thing that's ever known about this man is his neighbor who lived about half a mile away hears the most blood-curdling scream he's ever heard in his life. Next day they go around. Never seen again, oddly enough.
And some tales, there's not even blood in the cabin.
No hide, no.
Now, do they tell you these tales keep your ass away from shit you ought not be around. More than likely. But isn't that even more reason to not follow shit like that? If you see a lantern floating in the woods at night,
no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You walk the other way.
Now, which one were you talking about, John?
Oh, the one that I remember is it's similar, but it's basically it's kind of like the Chilean one, where it's the kid with the backwards feet. It's a lantern that keeps going further. It's basically a will-o-wisp. Like it's a lantern that and a child walking. You're trying to help. Like the story is the guy's trying to help this kid, because he thinks he's about to get fucking lost or hurt, and he keeps going deeper and deeper into the forest, and the kid starts getting further and further away, no matter how much this man like tries to keep up with his pace, and then he gets lost in the fucking forest, and no one hears from him again.
we don't go into the swamps and hollers following mysterious lights. We don't do that.
Nope. You don't want to follow that. All right.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of feeling it too. I'm kind of feeling it too.
No, you didn't.
No, you fucking didn't. Ain't nothing crying out there. Get your ass in the house.
Get off the porch right now.
You didn't hear nothing. Sometimes
he already
has Ned Ollie. He already has. But yeah, I love creepy stories about places. I was just blown away by how many there were in LA. Because
a cultural mixing pot, man.
It is, but at the same time, it's such a well-tromped, sunny area that you're like, there's probably not a lot of weird legends in this place. It's so brightly lit and, kind of open and,
Sunshine
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, because apparently werewolves and ghouls there already. I'm just putting it all in one book. Oh fuck!
Oh,
hey, if you want to get abducted by aliens, you're gonna stand over by that hotel. Why? 3 people have been kidnapped by aliens over there. Oh, thank you, George. Thank you, George. I appreciate it. That's all I have a hand for George version.
Woo! Hey,
hey, John. Man.
I'm sorry.
Hey, John.
Whatever the fuck that was set me on a fucking thing. I was like...
Did it just set you on edge a little bit?
A little bit. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Hey, John, guess what?
Yes, Yogi?
It's like, well, I was looking out over there, and I thought I could have sworn at the edge of the tree line I saw a really pale woman with a baby on her breast. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You really fucking didn't see that.
You didn't see nothing. La Llorona gonna get you.
I swear, I looked deep into the forest and I saw a man's face. Yeah,
it's there. It's there. What's he say? What's he gonna do? Oh, say hi. Might kill you. Might not. All depends on how he's feeling that day.
I saw a mysterious black book open in the middle of the road when I was walking. No, you fucking didn't. You didn't pick it up. You didn't read it. You walked the fuck away.
Well, I mean, I stand by my question from Talk to Me. Do you think anyone tried to jerk off with that hand?
God damn it! Stop
it! Jack.
Like, think about it. Like, this is a bunch of kids. They're already doing everything else. Like, does someone go like, oh, I'm going to put my dick in that, or...
I'm gonna finger bang myself with the fucking spirit hand.
With the spirit hand, yeah.
No, and do you know why? Because as one of our delightfully demonically influenced spirits told us at at a very particular point of the film, he's gonna split you apart.
You apart. Yeah.
No.
You know, I'm not saying it ended well. I'm just wondering if anyone did it.
That's the thing, Jack. Not everyone immediately sees a hand reaching out and goes, I want to fuck it.
Who are these people?
I wouldn't do.
You wouldn't think about it?
Oh,
I can't lie. I thought about it, but I wouldn't like.
I'm not saying I would do it.
I wouldn't like.
But if someone else was going to do it, I would totally watch.
No, the only time anything sexual with ghosts comes across my mind is if it's like, wait, have I established a relationship with this already? Cool. Now I'm wondering how far I can. That's when the question comes. Not when we don't know what's going on.
I'm just imagining like the talk to me hand, like as soon as a fucking cock gets in it, like fucking instantly like latches on and
yeah, like that makes sense. You ever think anyone scratched their ass with the hand of glory?
Oh, speaking of which, I'd like to let you know that I'm hoping
with it. Yeah.
I'm hoping because A24 is releasing. So far, you can pre-order them. I don't know if they've run out or anything. I'm going to try to get me one, but they're releasing a box set of Talk to Me, in which you can actually get a hand.
Why did you have to tell them that? Well, now you've made this a reality.
Now it doesn't have the writing on it, but it comes with copies of like the exact type of felt tip markers that they used to write all over the hand, so you can do it yourself in the style of your choosing.
I'm gonna post it into the fucking Zoom chat because I just saw it on Fangoria.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Jack.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
Oh man.
I'm gonna try to get me one because you know what I want to do? I want to take it. I want to doctor it up all nice. I want to, you know how like in like Michael's and shit, you can buy like the Terraria domes.
Yeah.
I want to get one. I want to put it right in the center of my living room. It's all covered with glass. I want to make everyone nervous.
Question.
Answer.
Question.
You're gonna make Jack horny over here.
Question. Now I got a legitimate question.
Okay.
Like, I remember being a young man, and yeah, I'm hanging out at the game shop, whatever, and they would talk about like the weird goth chicks that they met and how weird they were. And this guy was complaining because this one girl, like he describes her as very attractive, comes up to him and he's like, do you know how many ways there are to cook human flesh? And, you know, he was scared off. And I found myself going, well, you didn't get her number?
I would have at least gotten an answer.
Yeah, at least gotten an answer. I'd at least been like, no,
yeah,
like you just handed the conversation to me. That never happens. You know, a girl never comes up and just hands you a conversation piece. And you didn't go for it? Hell's wrong with you?
I'm now extremely curious because I didn't think, because now in my head I'm like, wait. Is there something particular about human flesh that limits the amounts of ways you can cook it?
Yeah, right? You know,
it's not
like
definite.
Because they're like, everyone's like, well, what do you do when someone says something like that? And I'm like, ask what their favorite is. Well, what's your favorite? Now, chances are this is just like someone with a hyperfixation, or they're being weird. At which point, I'll bite either way. It's only when you go back to their apartment and there are little jars.
Hey, now.
Little Tupperware jars filling the fridge. That's when you worry.
Oh, okay.
That's when you palm a knife while fucking.
I was about to say, hold on now. I have jars of odd things. Come on now.
Yeah, but, well, no. Well, all I'm saying is that if you decide to kill somebody, that, you're all set.
Oh, before we do go, I got to, because I told John earlier today what I did last night, and John approved of my activities. So I need to tell you, which was, I had friends over, and what we decided to do, we were like, okay, we're not going to have a horror movie night. What are we doing then? We're going to watch as many late 70s to mid 90s stranger danger and drug PSA movies we can find.
While
everyone else was fine, I decided, hey Jack, you know about like the various different ways that witches of old accomplish certain things.
Yeah, I know many of them, yes.
Yogi decided he was going to have himself a big old helping of mugwort and honey tea.
How hard is it to harvest your own ergot, really?
Not really. It's not really hard, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really kicked in around the time we put in, or it really kicked in around the time we put on Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, and that was a crowning moment.
Oh, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. Like, what drugs was like? That kid was apparently on all the drugs. And not just because he saw Garfield.
They're remaking, right?
What?
It's going to be in theaters.
They're remaking Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Yes, and it's going to be a mixture of live action and animation.
Please tell me it's a musical.
I don't know. I just know it's coming out next year.
Please tell me this is going to be a musical.
I just know it's coming out next year, and me and several of my friends are now dedicated to know when it comes out, we are going to the latest showing we can possibly get. We're going to be baked out of our minds. Because there's no other way to watch that.
Man, although I gotta agree with that one guy on TikTok. Why are white people's edibles so strong?
What are you running away?
Running from?
Hey.
To which I repeat my answer, which is, nothing, because you can't ever actually run away from yourself.
See, for me, it was going to be like history.
Why are white people's edibles so hard? Because unimaginable guilt. Fucker.
Oh God, what was in Pineapple Express? What was that one like fucking doobie
joint?
that was like the cross joint? Yes,
I've smoked a cross joint.
So have I. It's a really tricky but beautiful piece of weed engineering.
It is.
Yeah, but does it actually do anything?
It gets you more high.
Yeah, it's like you're smoking 3 joints at once.
All right, fair. Okay.
It creates like a vortex in the wrapping that pulls from all 3. So basically, you're fucking pulling like a Captain Hook.
Yep. You referenced a Dustin Hoffman moment, and I salute you, sir.
Look, that movie...
Everyone always forgets about the dual cigar smoker. Everyone forgets about that.
Because Captain Hook was tough.
That man, I love that. I love how Dustin Hoffman was like, no. Captain Hook is so gay that smoking 2 cigars at once does not make him straight.
Yeah.
But he...
Yeah.
He really played into the character, and I will forever love him for that.
God damn it. I have just seen something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we may need to go out on this.
Okay.
We may need to go out on this. Okay, come on. We can do this. Na, 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 na.
I'm horrified.
He just saw
Look
it.
at that.
Immediately went away.
See it on the stream?
Wait.
Holding. No.
No. You're just like, no.
Oh, now I see it. And yes, no.
Wait, what? Wait, what is
What's
You
that?
can see it on your screen.
What is that?
That is Superman 2, but in a Barbie world. They've been sent to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah,
And
the Barbie Phantom
is-
Zone.
Bum, 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 bum.
I was very glad that I went to see that movie.
What guy there? He's Terrence Stamp.
Yep.
You know, the OG General Zod.
Kneel
Yeah.
before Bob.
Kneel before. What was the name of his character in Priscilla Queen of the Desert?
Oh, fucking Bernadette.
Bernadette. Yeah, kneel before Bernadette. Yeah, like
I think one of my favorite things in that movie is when the character of Adam dead names her while drunk in the bar, and she just goes, "What did you call me back there? What I call you? What?" Slaps the living shit out of
God, I remember that scene. Yes.
Yeah, her beating the living shit out of him, I was just like, deserved. Yes.
Yeah, she's like, I am done with you, you little fucking twink. We are done.
He pulls one more shot like that. I'm gonna shove his toothbrush so far up. I'm gonna punch him so hard he's gonna have to shove his toothbrush up his ass to clean his teeth.
His teeth. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Priscilla Queen of the Desert. If y'all haven't seen it, see it. Great movie.
Stop flexing your muscles, you great big pile of budgie turd. Why don't you go back and fuck a couple of pigs on the bar? I love Terrence Stamp in that movie so goddamn much.
Oh man. Yeah, no, oh god, that whole cast is amazing. I'm pretty sure.
Listen here, you mullet. Why don't you light your tampon and blow your box apart? Because it's the only bang you're
gonna get. Yeah.
All right.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, we should go. So I want just let's say good night. Good night, everybody. Good night. Ave Stas Disco Inferno. Love y'all very much, and we'll see y'all next time. Good night. Wash your ass.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.